Okay. Good morning to Brazil. Good afternoon to Ukraine. It's so exciting to be with you today and to talk about one more COIL project. So let's begin and I hope you enjoy the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? This is a global transmission. Hayek will be live in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Enjoy the show.
Good morning, good afternoon to all of you. It's an honor to be here with you and to talk about the project. So I would like to invite you, first of all, to introduce yourselves. Tell us a little about your background, where you come from, what you're doing. Maybe also a little about Cherkasy Cherkasy State College of Business, so people can know a little of the background.
So probably I'll start. So, hello, I'm Svetlana Uzbechenko, Executive Director of Lingua Hub International Center of Cherkasy State Business College. So, I have been working at Cherkasy State Business College for about 26 years, and I started my career as a teacher of English. And I still teach practical English and communicative English to our students. But my primary focus now is on developing international cooperation opportunities and establishing new partnerships. So our college is located in the heart of Ukraine. It was founded about 60 years ago in 1966, and today we are a higher education institution with over 1,200 students and 100 faculty members. So our students pursue bachelor's degree and junior bachelor's degrees across such departments as economics, management and administration, software, computer engineering and information technology, and design. Cherkasy State Business College has always valued international cooperation with educational institutions. And so because we are committed to adopting the best innovative practices which will enhance the effectiveness of our institution. So we are open to new ideas, to collaboration. Because we want our educational process to be of high quality and standards. So, and about our experience, or shall I continue probably later after Irina introduces herself?
Okay, hello everyone. It's nice to be in such a pleasant circle of friends, partners. My name is Irina. I am an associate professor of the Department of Design and Sociocultural Disciplines. I teach various subjects related to the English language, like academic writing, introduction to public speaking, business English, fundamentals of effective communication, and so on. Since I started my researcher career, I have always been interested in the issues related to the interaction of language and culture. And also, it has been always my focus to develop students' cultural intelligence. And projects like COIL projects, they add a lot, they contribute a lot to students' cultural intelligence. And it is my pleasure to teach motivated students who are ready to discover the world.
That's wonderful. I'm so excited. Natalia, would you like to introduce yourself as well?
Sure. My name is Natalia, and we are starting with Hayek this semester. We are starting with our first cohort this February. I am the English teacher, one of the English teachers in our department. I have a degree in both journalism and English language, and also a master's in linguistics. And I have a background with as teaching English as a second language. But mainly this is my mainly experience, but also English for specific purposes with IT students in a college, in a technical college here in Brazil. So we are very excited to start our first cohort next week with Hayek. And just like Irina said, just like Svetlana said, it should be a great focus on introducing students to a great cultural diversity with other countries and even other continents, and especially considering our teachers who are based all over the world, not only in Brazil. I don't think I said that. I'm based in Brazil, in the south of Brazil. But the idea is that our project is very much international, so that students can be exposed to a very rich background here.
You said it all. It's in our DNA, right, Natalia?
Yes, exactly.
It's when we started out, we didn't even know what was COIL. I happened to know about COIL when I met Svetlana. It's a curious story, that's why I'm telling that. I met Svetlana in 2022, right? Or 2023?
22.
22 in Fort Myers in Florida, or was it 23? I'm right now. I think it's, well, doesn't matter. But we met each other in a conference, and at that conference, me and Edson got to know about COIL while we were already doing something that was very similar to COIL, and we made those connections, and thereby I had a wonderful opportunity to connecting again with Svetlana and then also with Irina last year to make this project happen, with Natalia being the one that is guiding the project here in Brazil. So one of the first questions that I had for you guys is to tell me a little about what kind of experience you maybe had already with internationalization or with COIL, just to get people that are listening, students or community, to know about a little about the value and expectations that you guys have when we are implementing yet another COIL project in our courses or in our universities.
So probably I'll start in general. Well, Irina. We have collaboration with American institutions, so with European institutions, and even we have friends in South Korea. And so we have successfully implemented several projects with them. And they are about just general topics and something specific. For example, with Broward College, we had the course Fundamentals of Effective Communication. So with Clark University, we had the course on resistance games. So with Florida State University, so we had a series of professional development sessions for our faculty members. And with our friend who works for one South Korean IT company, we were able to so have a great course on introduction to deep learning. So thanks to our European partners, we are also able to offer our students opportunities to participate in the Erasmus Plus student mobility program with study options in such countries as Latvia, Austria, and Germany. And so currently, two of our students are in Latvia at Vizema University of Applied Sciences. And certainly it would be great if we could add to this list of our partners Hayek Global College from Brazil. So, thank you.
Thank you, Svetlana. What a great experience, and certainly it will be wonderful to have our students working together and have you conducting the COIL project together and be our partners, right? Irina, Natalia, do you want to add something to what Svetlana said? Expectations that you have when you're creating projects where you promote the intercultural exchange, let's say.
Yeah, first of all, I would like to add some more specific information to what Svetlana has just mentioned. Last semester, I was honored to be part of two COIL projects, one with Berkeley School of Design and Technology at Clark University, which was called Resistance Games for the students who study computer engineering. And the second one was with our European partner, which is UCLL, University of Applied Sciences in Belgium, for students who study economics, marketing, entrepreneurship, and accounting. And I would like to say that this is really a unique chance, and it really brings great outcomes. For example, of course, we as teachers of English always expect our students to develop their English language skills, to be better with English fluency. Then, as our students always mention, such COIL projects help them to overcome fear, and it is a good way just to break this barrier and to gain more confidence in communicating with people from different backgrounds, cultural backgrounds. And if to be more specific about the COIL we are going to introduce, I would like to say that for me personally, it is one of the most important outcomes is also the awareness of shared human experiences for people from different cultures, as well as the ability of students to analyze and to interpret various cultural facts and to interpret various cultural contexts.
Yes, I believe that we have a very similar view on that, on this matter. And for me personally, this is going to be my first experience with internationalization, and I am so excited. When I was building the project, I kept thinking, what are the students going to be like when we meet them, and what a great opportunity it is to use the internet, to use the online connections to be so close, because in Europe, I believe some things are more simple. It's simpler for students to do exchange programs, to go for like a semester abroad, to have, and vice versa, to get students in their own university, which in Brazil is not so common and so easy and so affordable as well, because it is far away and it's difficult. So having this opportunity to share a few weeks together, I believe it's a great opportunity here. And I think we have a great chance to do something amazing. And like I said, this is my first experience and I'm very, very excited about it.
Me too, Natalia. And I think it's like when we first started talking about this project and talking about how you were going to involve the students in this project. Every meeting that we had, there came up more ideas, and in such a, sometimes you feel like, oh yeah, but it has to fit in exactly in my syllabus, or in my in the way that I'm doing things at my university or at my course. And then you feel like that you can be so much more enriched when you open your mind and you actually start building around what you have as ideas in common. And that, I think that's the whole beauty of it. Why don't you tell us a little more about the project? Natalia, do you want to start?
Yeah, sure. Our project is with the subject of English literature and culture. Yes, more available in world literature. So it's a great and very ambitious project, I believe. And I got inspired. I would like to talk a little bit about how I got inspired to write this project, because last year there was a TikToker who was doing a project about reading the most famous, the most prevalent writer of every country in alphabetical order. And then eventually she got to Machado de Assis, which is our greatest writer here. And she absolutely loved it. Loved it. And what's more interesting is that she went viral with her review of his book, which I believe was Posthumous Memories of Brás Cubas. She went viral. She skyrocketed the sales of this book in the United States. So when I was thinking about this project, I was like, okay, if he has such power to still amaze people all over the world, so many 200 years after his death, maybe this is the way we should go. And then in meetings with Svetlana and Irina, they recommended an Ukrainian writer, which is, I'm sorry if I'm butchering his name, which is Taras Shevchenko. And then I started writing. And I think the beauty of this project is to see at the same time how similar they are and how different they are, because Machado de Assis is a writer in the movement of realism. He writes prose. Yes, he writes and he writes prose. He talks about the society in a satirical way. And then Taras is a poet. He writes poetry. And the poem I chose, we selected together, is Dream, which is a satirical poem. Yes, and it's a high critic on the government and on societal changes. So that's our project. We are going to put together the two writers and make students do what our TikToker did, discuss on video what the themes are, the main themes. And the idea is some ideas here we have is to discuss mental health and sanity, which is the case of Machado de Assis' story that we are going to discuss, which is The Alienist. The Alienist is an old word for psychologists, the psychiatrists, and mental health issues. We have social norms and rebellion, which is very Dream from Taras, political oppression and resistance, cultural identity and heritage, love and relationships, nature and environment, dreams and imagination, power dynamics, humor and irony, life and death. So a lot of things for the students to think about. And the idea is that by the end of the 3-week project, which is what we designed, is to record a video, yes, in very short form, because the lesson plans here are not the point, but the idea is to discuss together to see what these authors have in common and what these authors have different, which is beautiful as well. But still thinking about how they did that and how we can discuss all of these themes within this both book, this short story, which is The Alienist, and in this poem. So that's in a nutshell what we are going to do during our COIL project together.
Irina Slivana, would you like to add something? like talk a little bit more about it's Taras Shrivensko, right? Is that correct?
So yes, I would like to add the following. So the names of Machado de Assis and Taras Shevchenko are not widely recognized by students. Well, I'm sure. So, and here in Ukraine, if you ask people what Brazil is associated with, they may answer Brazilian coffee, football, Rio de Janeiro, well, the carnival, the statue of Christ the Redeemer, and Paulo Coelho. So, however, by learning about Machado de Assis, students will gain deeper insights into Brazilian culture, history, and values, and particularly the development of the Brazilian society in the 19th century and the influence of Machado de Assis on the development of Brazilian literature. So students will have the opportunity to analyze, compare, and probably understand the commonalities between our countries. So, and about Shevchenko, why might Shevchenko be so interesting for Brazilian students to study? So I would mention here two things. So first, the fact that there are two monuments to Taras Shevchenko in Brazil. So, and as well as in other 30 countries of the world. And so the question might be what Shevchenko did to earn such admiration. So, and the second, how so Shevchenko was born in the family of serfs, so in a village, in a remote village, and so he managed to become an outstanding so poet and outstanding artist, and moreover, he is considered to be a prophet of the Ukrainian people. So, and his poetry, has been translated into 150 languages of the world. And I think, so your students may wonder why, what is so special about this, his personality. So this is what I would like to add.
That's amazing. That's, and again, one of the lessons I had the idea, we had the idea of building a Venn diagram on similarities and what's in, what's out. And again, amazing to know and to discuss the fact that he came from a background of serfdom, because Machado de Assis has his own similar background in this sense, which is he was black. He was, and again, I'm terrible with numbers, but slavery had ended very recently in Brazil, which is a very bad period of our history. And again, to see exactly like you said, how he grew and how much space he holds, he held at the time, and he still holds in depicting an amazing picture of Brazil. He was from here. He's exactly everything that a lot of the ideas that people have on Brazil is exactly like this. And when we think about that, when we think about how similar they are and how similar backgrounds, he comes from a not so, in terms of economical terms, not so simple, probably like Taras, but again, being a black man isn't easy nowadays. I can't imagine 200 years ago, and he still did it, and he has an amazing background. He did amazing things. So I think we will take a lot from the similarities and how different they are, and still being able to share a lot and share a lot of knowledge, and seeing another side of Brazil and seeing another side of Ukraine that a lot of the students don't have it.
Yeah, I would also like to add that it is a great honor for us to promote Taras Shevchenko's heritage, because the place where we are now, the place where college is located, is considered to be the homeland for Taras Shevchenko, the village where he was born and most of his masterpieces were created is located not far from Cherkasy. It is Cherkasy area. And also, Natalia has mentioned a lot of symbolism. And I would like to say that one of the symbols of Ukraine is embroidery. And for me, Shevchenko's poetry is like embroidery. It is genuine, it is colorful, it shows Ukrainian identity, and it is full of imagery and full of symbols. So I invite everyone to embroider together to understand what these symbols really mean, not only for Ukrainians, but in the global perspective.
It's a great one. Maybe I will add something like this, some embroidery project. Maybe now you have given me food for thought. I think maybe we can adapt something like it. I'm not a fancy person, but maybe let me think about it. Let me sit on it for a few days and see what we can include here.
You see, people, it's like that was building the COIL project. Every time we get some more out of it, and it's so enriching. And I mean, what Irina just said about how the symbols in both Shurensko's work and Machado Dic's work come up and talk about culture and express culture. I think it's so amazing, you know, and it's an opportunity to get to know and to immerse in the culture of each other, and to get to know more, to be open for it, to be open-minded for it. Something that I believe is very important in a world that's ever more globalized. You know, yesterday we were talking about the world is just a global. There is an expression that says the world is a global village. You know, and then you say, well, what is the symbolism maybe that is present in Shurensko's work and in Machado Dic's work, and which expresses Brazilian or Ukrainian culture, which makes us kind of being in that global village, being together, being the neighbors of each other, for so to say. I was wondering also about the COIL projects or about the COIL experience for you guys. When you think about COIL, this is maybe more a question for Irina, Svetlana, but I think Natalia also might have already an idea of it. When you would say, well, if I had to describe COIL in one word, what would that be for you and why?
So I would use the word global. So because COIL connects students from around the world, for example, Brazil and Ukraine. Well, we are located far away from each other, but we bring our students together. And offering them international learning experience, and everyone can participate. In the discussion. So and it's great because we become closer. Well.
Probably I will continue. Strange as it may seem, but for me, a COIL project, Svetlana is back, probably you will continue.
No, it's okay, can go on.
Okay. So strange as it may seem, but for me, a COIL project is similar to mountaineering activity. It is as challenging and rewarding. There are several reasons for that, because to be a success in mountaineering, you have to prepare well. The same relates to the COIL project. Also, teamwork is of crucial importance, and our collaboration, just a good example of that, is a good illustration of that. And it might be hard at some moments. You might even not know where your destination, your final destination is, but when you are on top, you understand how strong you are. You can enjoy the view around you, and so you have gained new skills for your future growth and development.
Yes, I would also add about networking opportunities that a COIL project will provide. So, and a great example is so about is our joint participation in the workshop. So, as Hannah already mentioned, so we just met there, and in a year I got a message from Hannah inviting me to just collaborate, well, to do something together. So, and I think this is great that we again bring our students together, and they may build connections for their future career and life as well.
Exactly. For me, I would like to add one more point here. For me, it's mainly enriching. I think that the main concept here is enriching for the students, for the professors, I think it adds a lot of background and a lot of to the students who are starting their professional lives, because we think about university as this transition, as this it's never a final point for education, but it's the transition to a more professional life. And then when we think about that, when we think about how enriching it can be, especially in terms of networking, like Svetlana and Irina have said, but and thinking about different ways to approach culture, which is amazing, because these students, our undergraduate program, the idea is that they could do all of different things. We don't have a specific focus at the moment in terms of major, for example, in our project. So these people could go on to be business administrators, could go on to work in healthcare, could go on to be teachers themselves, and to have this background and to have this literary background to discuss different narratives, and discuss different narratives with people from abroad. I think it's all very enriching, very great, very nice to discuss in this sense.
So, and what?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. And while participating in COIL projects, our students gain international experience. That they become stronger in their cross-cultural communication skills, and so they become able to collaborate in the diverse team, and all this makes them really competitive on the labor market, because all these are the skills which are valued nowadays. So you have to be able to communicate with other people, to be able to work in the team globally. So, and this is one of the things I also value about this opportunity for our students to participate in this COIL project.
Absolutely. I was going to add what you were to what you were saying. Maybe also the hope for us to be connected and to be in a more interconnected and in a world with more peace, with more connection among each other. I would like to ask you one last question. Is there any curiosity that you'd like to share on behalf of the project, of the authors that you're going to work on, or your country, to warm up the community for this project?
That one fascinating fact that we have here. I think we talked about the authors a lot, but I think one thing that it's always nice to highlight is that Machado de Assis is a self-taught writer. He learned to read and write by himself. He went to school for a little while when he was a child, but the main fact is he's mainly self-taught, and everything that he does is out of pure talent. And I think we can learn a lot from that. I believe Taras comes from a very similar background as well. Because when we think about great literature, we always kind of expect a high degree of refinement, and these two authors are brilliant in terms of refinement. But to think about how much we can learn from an author that is self-taught, from coming from a background of economic and social challenges, two authors who come from similar backgrounds, I think it's a great opportunity to think how we can refine this experience and our own knowledge and our own way of telling stories to improve our skills, our professional skills even further.
I would be brief, or I will just open the door a little bit. We have already announced the poem, Taras Shevchenko's poem called Dream. And I would like to say that Dream is more than just a poem. It is a puzzle to be solved with all its symbols and with all its imagery. So let's solve it together.
I agree with Irina. So, and even I have become curious. So how we can all together with our students solve it.
Exactly.
Also, Natalia's enthusiasm has inspired us so much that we have been discussing with Svetlana a lot, and we have learned a lot of interesting facts about your author. And it sounds amazing, and I think that it will also just cover students with this interest and inspiration.
Exactly. I have a friend who says that she gets every book that I recommend to her, because I always tell the story of books and movies sometimes as I'm telling the story of a close friend. So maybe that's my talent, to tell stories of books and movies and things like that, as if I'm talking about real people or real life stories, and someone that I know very closely, and I'm very passionate about it. I'm very happy that we are starting this semester. I have drafted very carefully all my lesson plans, and I think it's going to be an amazing experience. I hope, wishful thinking, that it's going to be a great project, and most importantly, I want us to have fun together and to learn a lot together and from each other. That's, I think, our biggest expectation here.
Probably it's also necessary to mention that Ukraine is in the focus of attention of the news these days. And to understand Ukrainian heart, Ukrainian soul, Ukrainian spirit better, it is necessary to address to such great heritage as Taras Shevchenko represents, just to understand our ideas, to understand our intentions and our strivings.
Yes, and I remember you saying at some point, I'm not sure if it was you, Rina, or it was Svetlana, how important COIL is also in that matter for students to get connected and to have connection outside of that focus and that difficult time that you are facing, right? And I just want to say that you are also inspiring to me, and a lot of what you have said today has made me a little emotional and exciting about what you are going to do together. So it's a great honor to be with you and to make this project happen. Is there any final thought you would like to share?
So I just would like to say that I'm really very much excited about this project because it's about more opportunities for the development for our students and for us teachers as well. And thank you very much for inviting us to join your project, your idea.
Thank you very much for getting our invitation and to joining us on board on this amazing, great, inspirational, enriching global project.
Yes, and moreover, our colleagues and our students, when they heard about a possible project with Brazil, they reacted, "Oh, Brazil! We have never had any any projects with this country," and they are curious what it will be like, and we are curious as well.
Well, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. And let's make the project happen. Have a great afternoon, a great day in Brazil.
Yes.
And let's be connected.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, and have a great weekend.
You too. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.